What's up, guys? I'm Gabby Wilson for MTV News, and I'm here with Gucci Mane to talk about Mr. Davis, which has a lot of features. Big Sean, Schoolboy Q, A$AP Rocky. How did you choose like what voices you wanted to feature on this album?
I just kind of like collaborated with everybody who, I was listening to at the time. I like Big Sean music. I always been a big fan of The Weeknd, Monica. So it's like, these are a lot of first-time collaborations, and a couple of people who, I collaborated with several times before. I just want to put a collection of great songs together, and it just kind of like organically happened like this.
Yeah, wait, for the people that don't know, what are some of the first-time collabs on this album?
This is the first-time collab with me and Monica. This is the first-time collab with me and The Weeknd. This is the first-time collab with me and Schoolboy Q. There's just three right off the top.
Yeah. When you just dropped The Curve featuring The Weeknd.
Dropped The Curve with The Weeknd.
You're on tour with him right now. How did you guys celebrate the drop of that?
Well, it just came out. So we're about to start performing the song on tour now. So we dropped the song, we shot a video for the song. So the video for Curve should be coming in the next couple of days, and look for us performing it on the rest of the tour.
Cool. What's the concept for that video?
The video is just like next level. This might be one of the best videos I ever shot. It was like some kind of moving camera that the person, when they shot, it's like the person who made this camera, they patterned the camera that's like on a picture. When I tell you, it's like some next level, craziest video ever. So like the Curve Weeknd is gonna shock a lot of people. I can't even describe it. It's so just like 3D. It's like new dimension, and it's like a bunch. It appears that it's a bunch of us in a line. So it's like we moving and we popping. It's like 20 Weeknds and 20 Gucci's. Imagine us just, though I say it's hard to describe.
Yeah. Well, what was the collaboration process of working with The Weeknd on that song?
He's a great songwriter and just a great artist in general. And it took a minute for us to come to that song. I was, sending him ideas, and he was sending me beats. And then, once we got to the now produced Curve record, it was like instantly we knew it, like this is the one.
Well, another song off Mr. Davis that people are really excited about already is I Get the Bag with the Migos. Talk to me about doing that song with them, working with them in the studio.
That was like, I knew that song was gonna be a hit the day we made it, because we made it at my studio house. It was like, it was kind of like the old days, going in the studios, Metro in there with us, and, actually making the beat right in front of us, and, coming up with the chorus, coming up with the verses right down the spot. It's nothing like that chemistry of actually getting in the studio, everybody there, and bouncing ideas off each other.
Well, you also have Met Gala featuring Offset, not on this album, but from Droptopwop.
From Droptopwop.
Did you record Met Gala before or after I Get the Bag?
We recorded Met Gala when me and the Migos had a show in, I think, Dallas, Texas. Like right after the, cause Offset wasn't on, he wasn't on I Get the Bag. So he was like, I need to go in the studio. Cause he was there that day, but he didn't do his verse that day.
Yeah.
So he was like, we need to do a song together, me and you. And we went to the studio and made Met Gala that day.
Wow.
So it kind of like out of nowhere, and I just shot the video for that.
Yeah, just feeling like left out of that whole
Even
situation.
though I'm doing Mr. Davis, I'm like, I still need to do a video for Met Gala.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What are you guys gonna do for that video? Are you gonna crash the next Met Gala?
We actually did it. Like, Offset threw me a bachelor party, and we turned it into a video.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that should be coming out in the next couple of days.
So I imagine there's probably a lot of cameos in that too, right?
No, it's just me and him and the people he had at the party.
At the bachelor party?
Yeah.
Sweet. Wow, I cannot wait to see that. What's the difference working with just Offset by himself versus like the Migos as a group?
He's just driven, you know what I'm saying? He's driven and he's super talented. It's like the Migos in general are just, I feel like they're the dopest group out right now. And, individually, all of them are amazing. All of them, they are so different, but at the same time, they're all hard working. So one thing I can say about him, working with him, I guess, by himself is he's serious. Like, he don't play around. When he's in the studio, he's trying to, like, make the best verse he ever made every time I've seen him in the studio.
Mm-hmm. Everything that I have ever heard or read about how you work in the studio makes me think that you might be like the fastest working person in the music industry. Like Droptopwop, that's 12 songs. You recorded that whole thing in 2 days. Was the recording process for Mr. Davis similar to that?
Naturally, I got a lot on my mind. So it's not hard for me to record music, because it's like, it's easy for me just to pull from my life. So Droptopwop was just us just having fun in the studio. With Mr. Davis, it's like I really tried to make an album that's gonna come out with at the same time of the book, and kind of more like the audio version of the book. And that's what was kind of the strategy. But it's just like, I wanted to kind of like, relate some personal stuff on the album, because I knew the book was gonna let people know a lot about things that they never knew about me. So, I wanted to kind of like match with the music.
For sure. That's cool, like an audio book for the book.
It's crazy, because people are always saying you need to do an audio version of the book. And I was like, nah, I'd rather people read it.
Right.
But I want people to hear my new album and be like, well, this is a different album. This is like, I guess, it's more important to Gucci because he's sharing more about his life than he probably, previously shared.
Sure. So one of the things that made me particularly excited about the album was to see that you were collaborating with Nicki Minaj on Make Love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of fans were excited about that because it had been such a long time since seeing the two of you together. What was it like reuniting with her after so long?
Honestly, it's like every time me and Nicki ever made a song, it's been a dope song. So to get in the studio and come out with Make Love, I was proud that we made just even a good record, because we got high expectations. Like, every time we did something, it's been super dope. And I feel like, this is another one.
Yeah. What was the collaboration process for that song like?
Just so happened we was at the same studio, and I had recorded that song that day. And when they said like Nicki over there, I went and met her and just kind of like, we kind of touched bases again, but at the same time I'm like, I got a record I want you to hear, and she heard and she like, this is a vibe, and she jumped on it.
That's awesome. The other thing that I found interesting was that it's listed as Gucci Mane with Nicki Minaj, not featuring Nicki Minaj. What's the reasoning behind that?
Because to me, it's kind of like both of our records. You know what I'm saying? It's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? Every time you make especially when you make an organic collaboration, I feel like she has as much claim to the record as I do. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's both of our records.
Another thing that I have thought was really cool watching your rise, especially like this past year, was seeing you dabble into the pop space a little bit with like Down or Fetish. Are there any other pop artists that you would love to work with that you haven't yet?
I would love to work with Ed Sheeran. I'm a big fan of his. Ariana Grande. I'd love to do another record. I did the remix with Bruno Mars, but I would love to make something, original with me and Bruno Mars.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fire. That'd be
like
Rihanna.
a
#1 for sure.
And I take Rihanna.
You'll take Rihanna?
Yeah, that's 4 powerful like hits right there.
Yeah, definitely. I think you might have to get in line behind Diplo. He's really trying to team up with Rihanna right now too.
Diplo is dope. Diplo is dope. And Diplo.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you've been home for like over a year now. Has there been any one experience from this year that's like really stuck out to you about life being back at home?
Just the whole year been just so many great moments for me. So I could say the VMAs, I had a great time. The BET Awards, the hip hop. Anytime is that I can get with like all the fellow artists that I've been working with for the last 4 or 5 years and see how successful they are, and we can just when we have that's just like anytime we can all get together in the same place and just get to kick it, man. It's like those are great times.
And there's so many more milestones coming. I mean, we already talked about the Autobiography coming out soon.
The Autobiography, the wedding, new album. It's just a lot.
There's a lot.
I'm blessed. This has been one hell of a year.
I'm particularly excited for the book too. What inspired you to start writing an autobiography?
I don't know. Like my engineer suggested it. When I was away, and then it was just something like I guess to kill time. Just a stressful. You in prison, you don't got nothing but time. You know what I'm saying? I just reflect on my life, and like I just started writing, and next thing I know, 30, 40 pages was down, and I was off and going.
Did you learn anything about yourself through the process of writing the autobiography? I
learned that I can be more than a rapper. I learned that like I really feel I have a future in writing books if I wanted to do that. It's easy. It's really easy.
Yeah. Were you inspired by any other authors while you were writing and reading?
Definitely. I read like the autobiography of Mike Tyson and the autobiography of Johnny Cash, and I read like two biographies of Jimi Hendrix, but both of them he didn't write them. So I was like, I would love to read something that the actual artist, wrote it himself. And I'm like, I got the chance to do that, let me do it.
You think you've got like the writing bug? What else would you want to write?
I had, you know, while I was writing this book, I had compiled all my fan mail, and I wanted to just make a book of all my fan mail I received in prison, because there's been some like amazing letters I received, inspiring ones, funny ones, you know, informative ones, with people telling me like, this is the hot artist when you get out, or this is the hot producer you should collaborate with, or this, you know, even like with 21 Savage, people wrote me like, 21 Savage did pay homage to you and did a free Guwap mixtape. All these things I was learning from the mail in prison, so I'm like, while I was writing that book, I was like, it might be good if I just saved all these letters. So I saved them. That's my second book that I'm kind of like planning
It's
to
almost
drop.
like an alternate biography.
And I feel like it's interesting, you know, nobody else, I never heard nobody do that before.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And it's genuine, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you just get to the point in your life where if you just organically, things start falling in place. If you start doing, if you do one thing good, another door opens just, and it's been like a domino effect. Every time I do something positive, another door opens for me, and it just keep happening.
Definitely. And your Twitter too has become like a source for motivational statements too. And the retweets and shares on that stuff has been really crazy. Have you noticed a change?
Yeah, but a lot of times I'm reading a book and I see something and then I just post it on Twitter. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm on the airplane and I'm reading this book and it's like, I need to share this with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that was crazy. And I just get it. And some of them be original thoughts of mine, but a lot of them is just me reading books and just sharing it with the world.
Yeah, well there's one tweet that's like really picking up a lot of steam right now. It's the one about manners. And I want to know,
that was mine.
What are you thinking when you're typing this tweet?
It's just like, yes ma'am, no ma'am, excuse me, thank you, please, I appreciate it. Respect goes a long way, manners are priceless. I feel like so many times, you know, meetings and interviews and just business things just go right with me because I just be polite and it comes naturally. And I feel like once people see that, you know what I'm saying, it just makes the whole conversation go better.
So as if putting out an album and an autobiography weren't enough to keep you busy, you're also in the middle of planning a wedding, almost like about to walk down the aisle. What's the planning process been like?
It's challenging, but at the same time, it's like, you know, my wife really handles a lot of it for me. So really, I'm on tour, I'm doing the book, I'm doing the album. So we kind of came up with, you know, you handle that, let me handle this, and take that stress kind of, you know, off me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been fun for me more than anything.
What things have you been giving input on?
Really nothing. more is like, I'm more the type of person like, do it how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make yourself happy, make sure, you know, I trust that she's gonna make it exceptional.
So you're not the one behind the mirrored invitations?
No, I'm the one behind the checkbook more than anything. I'm just the financier of the wedding. You know, to me, it's like a big party. It's like coming, you know, sharing such a great experience with all your friends, all your loved ones, you know, all the people who supported you. To me, it's just like an epic party.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. That's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the book and the album and everything. Just the whole,
thank
everything's
you.
looking up Gucci.
I really appreciate it, and I thank y'all for coming and, you know, sitting down and talking with me.